Halo semuanya, balik sama kenal dengan game Vampyr. Oke, nah kita udah sampai ke Suster Dorothy, di mana dia mencurigakan dia memberikan sesuatu kepada orang di pinggir sungai, dan gua nggak tahu itu apa. By the way, gue udah lama nggak record, semoga gue masih inget cara mainnya ya. Oke, kita dapat jurus baru, gue dapat jurus ngilang. Kita langsung aja ke TKP-nya, yaitu ke kaget gua, yaitu ke White Apple. Kita harus kasih surat dan gue bisa nembak. Oh my god, gue lupa cara ini. Oke, isap. Nice. Oke, gue butuh darah guys. Reload. Nice. Oke. Kita langsung aja ke TKP-nya ya, yang huruf Y itu. Oke, udahlah gue lawan semua aja lah. Gue udah kuat nih. Gila. Gue udah grinding dikit kemarin pas offline. Enak aja lu. Pungut dulu. Oke, dapat pistol, dapat peluru lumayan. What is this?
It's locked, all right.
Kelok guys. Oke, kita masih lewat bawah kayaknya. Oke, ini dia guys, kita akan masuk ke sini.
I cannot enter.
Astaga. Gak bisa masuk. Mesti lewat seberang. Lewat sini bisakah? Oke. Ini dia, kita bakal ke blackmail in White Chapel. Mau gak tahu apa yang nanti.
This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Oke, kau nggak tahu apa yang menanti kita ya. Oke, ada shotgun shield ya. Oke. Berarti gue sudah dapat shotgun di sini. Your king and country need you. Hai, ini orang mati. Waduh. Ditembak dong. Kita pelan-pelan. Ada apa, Nek?
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me.
Bentar, guys.
Not even you.
You should read this letter.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... Well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Oke, apa tuh? Swan Borov Cordial Ingredient Aqua Fontis Ila Repetia Idem Sitilia. Ya, bahasa-bahasa kedokteran lah ya. Oke, new hint available. Oke, menarik. Oke, goodbye.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye. Gua cuman mau kasih surat doang ke lu. Kita lanjut. Ini orang siapa nih?
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is...
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Doctor.
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Ayo kita
I'd
let's
like
try.
to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Oh, kita tukerin sama ini nih. Oh, dia jualan. Astaga. Oh, dia jualan. Oke, thank you. Gue kira lu ngapain, ternyata lu jualan. Kalau jualan mah gue nggak usah beli tadi. Oke, ini dia. Find the Darius. Let's go. Permisi.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Oke, kayaknya dia nggak mau kasih kita masuk deh. Press V. Bronkitis. Dia punya penyakit bronkitis. Terus kok ngapain nih? Investigate Darius.
There's nobody here.
Oke. Kita mesti investigate Darius. Oh, itu dia. Kemana nih dia nih? Ah! Oke, ada Suster Dorothy di situ.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Oke, kayaknya si orang itu curiga deh sama kita. Darius Petrescu. Social Circle.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Oke, itu dia orangnya. Oke, kita harus ketemu sama Richard dan Clayton. Dia kayaknya temannya si Darius. Kayaknya bakal ada clue sama mereka. Langsung aja. Yang dekat dulu ya, 40 meter. Find Clayton in this area. Kita coba ngobrol dia.
I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
I'm looking for Suster Dorothy
Have you
Crane.
heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Oke,
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
kayaknya nggak ada berikutnya lagi. Ini dia bukan Clayton.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Let me in.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look.
Oke, tadi kita pakai jurus kita buat hipnotis orang ya.
Worries about me then. Okay,
Oke, dia Harry.
I'm a Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Harry Patterson. Oke, nyolong dulu di rumah orang ya. Oke, sebentar ya Harry ya. Gue cari-cari sesuatu dulu.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Oke, kita ngobrol sama Harry coba.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Aduh, gue salah pencet guys.
Is there only pain?
Gue salah pencet, sorry.
May I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Oke. Saya mencari Suster
Do
Dorothy.
you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick.
Oh,
She said I should go out more.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
oke, kayaknya Suster Dorothy ini
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
gue nyangkut. Kayaknya Suster Dorothy ini ngebantuin orang-orang yang ada di sini guys ya. Dia selamatin orang-orang di sini, ngobatin orang-orang di sini.
It's locked, all right.
Oke, kekunci. Job refusal letter. Professional vampire hunter. Oke, kayaknya dia pemburu vampir nih. Bahaya nih. Oke, kayaknya nggak bisa gua ambil lagi di sini.
Even my dreams are
Oke lah Harry, thank you.
gloom.
Kayaknya lu bukan yang gua cari. Gua nggak bakal celakain lu juga. Clayton di mana Clayton? Clayton tuh cowok kan harusnya. Ini nggak mungkin. Oke, keliling-keliling mencari Clayton. Oke, ini siapa nih?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Oke, Tobias Whitaker, bukan.
I have had enough for
Thank
tonight.
you, gua nggak cari lu. Ini Tobias, lalu ini siapa?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry,
Ah!
I'm new to White.
Ini dia, Clayton Darby.
But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Ini dia guys, Clayton Darby. Ternyata dia seorang reporter. Dan dia lebih kuat dari kita. Dia 4, kita 1. Kita nggak bisa.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
Kita kasih dia
If you
obat dah ya.
persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Oke. Kita bakal coba tanya underground obat underground
I heard you're
dispensary.
investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Okay. I care about public health. It's conveniently. A nurse I know comprise. I care about public health.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care
Kita pura-pura
about
aja dulu.
everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Oh, nggak pernah lihat teman atau keluarganya. Oke. Dia nggak punya relatif. Oke, dia nggak pernah keluar.
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Oke, dia nggak pernah.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Oke.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
Thank you, Mr. Darby.
Farewell.
Oke, katanya mungkin lo bakal ketemu sama Richard. Itu mungkin temen satu-satunya si Darius. Dia biasanya ada di belakang gereja, sekitaran gereja lah. Oke, ini gereja by the way. Ini Clayton Darby yang tadi. Kita udah kasih dia obat ya. Oke. Itu suara apaan, bro? Aduh. Tiba-tiba ada suara gituan. Kaget gua. Aduh. Ya. Meninggal. Baru gue mau ambil dia buat nge-heal. Oke. Kayaknya si Richard ini vampir juga nih. Oke, harusnya dia Richard. Harusnya ya. Karena dia cuma orang atau-atau di
Good
sini.
evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Oke, ini dia Richard Nethercott. Dia seorang pembawa puisi. Kita lihat dulu. Dia punya flu. Cuman gue nggak punya obatnya, guys. Jadi ya nggak bisa lah ya. Dan dia lebih hebat juga dari gue. Oke, gue mencari Suster Dorothy
May
keren.
I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you if I can.
Oke, dia bilang kalau tentang Darius. Apa kau tahu tentang Darius?
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Oke, kalau tentang Dorothy
I'm
Crane?
looking for Dorothy Crane. A nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Dia nggak pernah denger tentang Dorothy Crane. Oke lah.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercold, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Kau punya contoh?
In what way exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Oke, kayaknya gue nggak butuh banyak-banyak tentang dia deh.
I'll leave you alone.
Oke, thank you, Sister, Mr. Richard. Oke, kita udah cari Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard, siapa namanya? Richard Nithercott, dan kita udah cari si Clayton Darby. Jadi Clayton Darby itu seorang reporter dan si Richard itu adalah seorang puisi. Oke, kita akan mencari surat yang ada di dalam kotak surat itu. Oke, sebelum itu gue lihat dulu. Dorothy Crane masih mencurigakan nih guys ya. Oke, kita nggak tahu teman lihat lagi siapa ya. Editor official letter. Oke. Kok ada suara tiba-tiba? Oh, dia yang ngomong. Latihan puisi di kuburan guys, coba kalian bayangin. Agak stres tuh orang. Oke. A flower bucket. Find in the Oh, kita sudah cari kotak surat di sini. Oke. Ah, ini dia. Darius Patricius letter.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Oke, Darius sedikit mencurigakan, ketika kita bakal coba ke tempat Darius untuk memastikan apakah dia orang yang mencurigakan atau orang yang baik-baik saja. Halo, siapa dia? Kini kita masih kenal nama orang-orang nih guys.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for.
All right.
Oke, namanya Christina guys. Gue cuma pengen tahu namanya aja. Joe Peterson. Ini gue ajak ngobrol cepat aja ya. Oh, dia tukang jualan juga guys. Banyak yang jualan di sini. Oke guys, ini ada rumahnya Darius. Kita akan coba tanya ke Darius apakah dia bisa mengizinkan kita masuk atau enggak. Tapi di next episode. Untuk episode kalian sampai sini dulu. Terima kasih sudah nonton. Jangan lupa kalian kasih aku nggak suka. Kalian subscribe channel gue dan see you on the next video. Bye bye.